Welcome everybody to the weekly reroll where our overlays are never set up right. Damn it. Can't believe I forgot that one. How do I forget these overlays all the time? I had all this time to prepare for that. Rico comes up. I should just redo all of this. So frustrating. So frustrating. Huh? We're just gonna. There we go. There's our breaking news overlay. Thank God. Okay, so sorry about that, everybody. Sometimes we brain fart here. Anyway, the weekly reroll. This is the show where we recap everything that happened this week in Dungeons and Dragons on Twitch, because there's a lot of things that went on. And finally, I am part of all the shows that are actually happening except for Dark Heresy, because Dark Heresy never happens. So I actually know what I'm talking about for R&D. So let's start with Roleplay Solemn. There was no Roleplay Solemn this week. It got moved around, it got canceled, it got shuffled. It will be Wednesday, but there was no Roleplay Solemn last week, so nothing happened. Sorry. Let's move on to EHBON. Now, EHBON, the week before this ended with us walking through a portal and going, oh my god, what's happening? And now, we figure out what happened with that portal. Well, Rich teleports to one part of town. Ricardo teleports to another part of town, and he teleports to that part of town with the woman, but they're a little bit separate in distance. And so Rich is like, oh, whatever, and runs back into town. Ricardo sees the woman, tries to fight with her a little bit, then he plays dead, and the woman escapes. And all the party then meets up, and they discuss what happened. It takes a long time. We were kind of inefficient. And then we decide to go chase after the woman. So we grab our horses and we chase after the woman down the road where Ricardo saw her. And there was also coincidentally some explosion in a barn nearby, but the barn wasn't on fire. It was like an airburst explosion or something. We have no idea. We never figured out what that was. I'm still kind of curious, but it seems to have just been swept under the rug. Who knows? Anyway, we chase this woman, and while we're chasing her on horseback, God, my eye is twitching like a madman. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I feel like muscles spazzing in my eye. Sorry, we're talking about our EHBON here. So we chase the woman, and eventually we come to this little squat tower on the side of the road. It's like 3 stories tall, circular, not a big deal. And as we go around the base, we find, hey, wait a minute, there's no door. There's windows up on the 3rd floor, but there's no door here. Huh. Rich is like, fuck it, we're chasing after this woman. Let's keep going. And the rest of the party's like, no, let's look at this tower. Yeah, let's go look at this tower. And Rich here gets really pissed off. He's like, fine, fuck this. We were going to go after the goblins. And then we're like, no, let's not go after the goblins, let's go after this. And then we took care of this other thing. We killed these guys. And then we rescued this woman, and then the woman teleported away, and then we all got back together, and we didn't know what to do, and we're like, okay, let's go after these goblins. And you guys are like, no, we can't go after the goblins yet. We really have to go kill this woman. And now we're out here looking for this woman, and as soon as you guys see some random-ass tower that you don't know how to get into, you're like, no, let's stop chasing this woman, and let's figure out how to break into this random person's tower. Rich is pissed. Rich is just like, I've fucking had it with you guys. You have no concentration. You can't focus on anything. I'm out. And so Rich just takes off. The rest of the party's like, whatever, let's just deal with this tower. And then Ricardo comes after him, and they chat, and Ricardo convinces him to come back. Maybe the woman's in a tower, she did teleport, blah, blah, blah. Rich is kind of pissed. He's like, fine, let's do it, whatever. Anyway, they camp outside the tower for a night so they can get spells back. There's a detect magic that goes off and finds magic on the 3rd floor and magic on the 1st floor as part of the wall. Rich, with his 7 intelligence, goes, oh. I don't know, he walks up to the part of the wall that had the magic on it and licks it and finds out, hey, it tastes like splinters. There's clearly a door here. So he starts beating at it with his hand axe until he realizes, wait a minute, if there's a door here, there's a handle. And he finds the handle and he opens the door and walks in. Haha, tower defeated. And we go in, we start looking around. There's a flight of stairs. And we go up the stairs and immediately we get into a battle with this woman. And I never really was sure what the other thing was. It sounded like a wyvern because it had like a stingy scorpion-like tail, but it was flying thingy. I don't know. I was not very sure what it was. I was kind of, I don't know what the hell it was. But there's a fight. And Rich gets stung by this thing and dies. He fails this. Well, he gets stung 3 times. First time, he has to make a poison save. He rolls a natural 20. Second time, he rolls a natural 19. Third time on the poison save, he rolls like a 5 or something, and then is just dead. Rich is dead. Rich is dead forever and ever and ever. He can never come back. It's over. At this point, I tune out because I immediately go and make a new character. Just like, oh, boom, new character, got it, I'm on it. The party continues fighting. The woman somehow escapes. I don't know if she jumps out a window or teleports or phases, or I don't remember exactly how the woman escaped, but she escapes. The party, I think, kills the other thing. I'm not sure. Again, I wasn't paying very much attention. And the woman steals Argo and runs off with Argo back towards the town. The rest of the party chases after it, except for Ricardo. Ricardo like takes Rich's body out of the tower and is mourning and is like crying and is like super upset over the death of Rich. Ricardo's like super upset. Not Caitlin. What's Caitlin's character? Starts with an R. Riley. Riley is super pissed about this Argo shit. She's like, Rich, whatever. Argo's missing. I'm going after Argo because there've been a couple other instances of JP like pretending to kill Argo. Oh, but the whole like the barn exploded thing. They found like pieces of horse lying about, and Caitlin's like, "You killed Argo, no!" Turned out, of course, it wasn't Argo. Argo was like still tied up by the bar, but whatever. God, I will not stop twitching. What the fuck? Oh, stop twitching. Anyway, so Caitlin chases after Argo. Cobblepot hops on hops on his pony and chases after her too, leaving Ricardo with Rich. Meanwhile, Ricardo's hanging out with Rich, like devastated by this loss. When this new guy walks up, like trotting down on his own horse, he's wearing very fine clothing. He's got like the wonderful scent around him. His name is Coronado Vasquez, and he is the newest member of the party, played by me. He runs into Katz, and immediately Katz and Ricardo hit it off on like the same foot, like boom. And Ricardo forgets all about the loss of Rich. The two of them like sit down, have a little picnic using Rich's cloak as like a picnic blanket. They eat some food, they chill out for a moment, then they hop on the one horse because there's only one horse left. They hop on Coronado Vasquez's horse and ride together with with Coronado in front and Ricardo behind him, and they ride all the way back to town. Meanwhile, the chase looking for Argo, Riley's unable to catch the woman because Riley steals Ricardo's horse, right? So the woman's on Argo, which is Riley's horse. So Riley takes Ricardo's horse, and Cobblepot takes Cobblepot's donkey. And so Riley's chasing, having a hard time chasing. He's like, fuck it, this horse is dumb, and then starts chasing on foot for some reason that I was not very clear of. Yeah. And then eventually Cobblepot comes along, and they hop on Cobblepot's horse and, get to town. When they get to town, Riley is still pissed, so she goes and steals someone's horse and starts chasing after Argo again down the road. And she comes across, I think, an old woman in the street on the road who's got Argo, and Riley's like, "You're the evil woman! You have my horse!" And the woman's like, "What are you talking about? I just found this horse here. It's not mine. I don't know what you're talking about." And so Riley is not trustworthy of this old woman, or not trusting this old woman at first, but eventually kind of gives up and is like, "Fine, you're probably not the whatever. All right, this is my horse. I'm taking it." And comes back. In the meantime, while she's chasing, Coronado Vasquez and Ricardo de Mar meet up with Cobblepot in the town, and they find that Cobblepot has informed a person that Riley has borrowed his horse, and she'll bring it right back. And the guy's pissed, and it turns into this big debacle with the town guards. And Ricardo, Cobblepot, and Coronado are all like, no, it's fine. She's bringing the horse back if she's got the horse, blah, blah, blah. And then comes Riley coming down with Argo, and the guy's like, "She stole my horse." And she's like, "What? If I had stole your horse, why am I coming back on a different horse?" And the guard's like, "Hell, fuck, we can't argue with that. She didn't take your horse, dude." And he's pissed. And no one else says anything. And Ricardo had told Coronado that Riley loves to be called my lady and treated thusly, so he's been doing that. And it's pretty funny. Coronado's a great character. I love to play him. And that's pretty much how EHBON ends. Also, we go back and pick up. So, because remember, Riley was riding on Ricardo's horse for a while and trying to chase after Argo, and at some point she jumped off and ran on foot. So we go back to pick up that horse, and I think that's where we end the week, is picking up the other horse. So that's EHBON for you. Time for misclicks. Misclicks starts with the party getting their shit together, getting ready to be teleported onto their ship. They go talk to the guy. He's like, he asks for information. The wizard, because no one knows his name, starts asking for information like, okay, well, who is this person? Where's your ship? I couldn't find him via normal means. Maybe the ship's changed name, blah, blah, blah. They do a lot of question asking, give as many details as they can. Eventually, he finds the ship. And there's a few small things, but nothing super plot-worthy that happens before that. And then he teleports them onto the ship. Well, party's now on the ship. They see Flint, the dwarf, on the ship. And he's like, what the fuck? How'd they get... And they get into a fight and they kill Flint. A little bummed about killing Flint, but whatever, it happened. Then they basically just camp. They camp the ship. They keep a couple people in the crow's nest, a couple people on the... Or no, they keep December in the crow's nest, Lily and Faye below. What's his name? The Minotaur Tyrant's already gone. And they wait. And eventually some more crew members come on. Oh, well, they search the ship first and they find a sick man down below and they tie him up. He's apparently hired the captain of the ship, Jefferson, to help him move some cargo, but he's really sick in bed. Meanwhile, so they go back upstairs and they wait for more people to come across. 3 sailors come aboard at some point, and the crew, or the party, doesn't recognize them as part of the normal crew. And so as they come aboard, a fight ensues. The 3 members of the party are slain. Well, 2 of them are slain. One of them falls in the water with his chainmail on and drowns. And so that they kill them. They wall of fog, but some people on shore or on the dock saw. And shortly, like 20 minutes later, down comes Jefferson with a whole bunch of guards, being like, "Hey, what's going on? What happened on my ship?" The party is again hiding on the ship somewhere, and so they're looking about. And as they approach, as Jefferson and the guards approach from the crow's nest, December calls down to the others, like, "Hey, hold on, I see people coming." The guards point up, and Jefferson's standing. He can't make out who that is up there, so he's standing down on the dock, and he's like, "Hey, whoever's up in the crow's nest, come down now. We won't kill you. We'll just talk to you, figure out what's going on. Otherwise, I'll have to come up and kill you myself." And so he starts going up to himself. Right? He starts climbing the crow's nest. No, he comes on. He's going to start climbing the crow's nest. He doesn't actually climb up to the top of the crow's nest. Somehow Faye intercepts him and kills him. I don't remember exactly how the battle went down. Anyway, a battle goes down. It's been a while. Forgive me for not remembering exactly the details. The battle goes down. Jefferson is killed, much to some of the party's dismay. The guards are fought off. Some good spell use. It keeps most of the guards unable to fight. A few of them escape because they got glitter dusted. So they just ran off. Or one of them could still see, so he takes the other guy and runs off. The rest of the guards are fought and killed. And the party has a really drunk person. Somewhere along the line, the party picked up a very inebriated person. Yeah, they went out to a bar, and they picked up one more crew member, the very inebriated guy. Again, more with the kidnapping super drunk people and trying to get them to become sailors on the ships. And he's down below. Anyway, that's a key information. That's a key plot thing that comes back later. So now they've found Jefferson. They've killed him, and they're like, "All right, well, screw this shit. It's time to go." So they get their drunk guy that they had earlier. And they set sail because they have the required 4 people with sailing to go. Skeleton crew, they can sail the ship effectively, whatnot. And as they're taking off, because it takes a while with 4 people to get the ship fully ready to take off, blah, 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 blah. So they start finally pulling out, and 12 guards with bows show up on the dock. And they start shooting arrows at the ship. Lily's like, "Fuck this. Fireball time." She casts Fireball on the dock, kills all 12 guards, sets the dock on fire, and sets a nearby ship on fire. And the crew and the party slips away on the ship with no one chasing them, because holy shit, they just cast a fireball we're not going to chase that ship. They might have more fireballs. What the fuck, right? So no one chases them, and the party escapes. They go all the way back towards Beggar's Cove, and on the way, they check out the cargo that the sick man had, and it turns out to be cages filled with slaves. Holy shit! Cages filled with slaves. And they free the slaves. They have a chat with the slaves. What do you want to do? Well, here, this guy who's your slaver, you can do whatever you want with him. We don't care. So they make him walk the plank, and they push him off in the water, and he drowns. And the slaves and the party chat for a while, and they come up with the plan that they're going to form a new colony on an uninhabited island just for the slaves. And then that way the party can kind of have their own little colony that they can come back to and work with. But that the slaves, they'll have their own place to be. They'll be beholden to no one, but they'll resupply the misclicks as they come through and whatnot. And everyone seems to be pretty happy with this arrangement. They find the island. They Lily uses some fireball spells to clear the land of trees and whatnot. And then they realize they need some more supplies. The drunk guy that they had gotten with is like, yeah, I don't really want to be a pirate. Really appreciate it if you left me off somewhere else. And we end up with the party going back to Beggar's Cove to get a new crew. Actually, they already got a new crew. We just haven't gone over the details of who they are. To get a new crew and to get ready and to get more supplies for the town, because they need like axes and an ox and plow and livestock. Like they need the starting things that you have when you like form a town, because they had nothing. They have no tools. They just have food and water. So the party's going to go back to Beggar's Cove, get some more supplies to fuel the party, blah, 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 blah. And that's it for Misclicks. Yeah, that's it for Misclicks. Oh, they Misclicks name the town, it's either New Zealand or New Nealand. I don't remember which one. But yeah, they name it after me, of course. Dicing with Death. Dicing with Death did not happen this week. There was no Dicing with Death. I was feeling really, really sick on Sunday, and I basically spent the whole day lying in bed watching kung fu movies. Yeah. And action movies. Yeah. But there was nothing happening Sunday. Moving on to R&D. We start Season 3, Episode 1 of Roleplay R&D with me as a player. Yay. I play William. Margaret plays Ronald. DJ Wheat, also known as Marcus Graham, plays Quinn. And JP McDaniel, also known as It Me JP, plays Emery's. And we start off as squires. The first half of the show is taken up with character making. It's a very complicated process. Suffice to say that I break the game and make a character who, like the average damage that for a character in the system is like 3d4 or 3d6 or 46. I create a character who does 7d6. JP also breaks the system and creates a character who does 66, but mine's a little bit better. Shh, don't tell JP. My character is way cooler than his. Shh. Anyway. There's actually very little content that happens this week. There's not much to catch up on. Basically, we're introduced to the characters. We're kind of introduced to the setting. We do this little horse race thing to figure out who's going, and then the leader of the horse race. No, we do a horse race and then we do a joust. And the winner of the joust becomes the leader of the party for this adventure that we're going to go on. Quinn bows out, being like, you know what, we're going to be hunting this bear. I am a terrific hunter, so it doesn't matter who leads the party because you're going to be using my hunting skills. It doesn't matter to me, I'll sit out. And for that, he gets a certain reward, like in-game, not in-game reward, but character reward. Like it's too complicated to explain now. Watch the show. Anyway, JP then sits out as well, being like, I don't remember his reasoning, but he sits out, and he kind of gets jaded, kidded. He gets made fun of a little bit. But the guy's like, oh, well, the other guy set out with really reasonable reason. Like, that's why he set out kind of makes sense. I don't know why you're sitting out. Are you afraid to fight? Are you a coward? And we kind of give him a little shit, but Luperza and I, Ronald and William, go for the joust, and William just owns the joust because William's the shit. So William is the leader of the party on this bear hunt because there's this man-eating bear that's been harassing the villagers to the north a little bit. So the next day we ride out to this town. Oh no, that same day we ride out to the town with the villagers, and it seems that Quinn, I think it was Quinn, either Quinn or Emery's, and I'm pretty sure it was Quinn, like kind of knows the guy that we're meeting there. He's a peasant. Well, he's a peasant that's joined the clergy, I think. And so he helps, goes with us to find this bear, and we all go together as a party. But Ronald fails his roll against pride or something like that. So Ronald's like, "Fuck this! I'm going off on my own," because Ronald's got a lot of pride, I think. So he goes off on his own to he's like, well, how do you explain this? We were in a situation where it's like, well, should the party stick together searching for this bear, or split up so there's more people about, so we have to cover more ground. And due to the way the system works out, Ronald had to make a roll to see if he was okay. When me, the party leader, was like, no, we should stick together. It's better this way. And he got like offended, was like, thought that we were being cowardly, or that hiding together rather than working. I didn't really understand why he had to roll against his pride to stick with the party, but he did. So he goes off on his own while we have the trained hunter, and the hunter helps us find the bear, no problem. Meanwhile, Ronald gets lost in the forest and whatnot, and we find the bear and kill it. We slaughter it. What's his Emery's? No, Quinn. Quinn lands like a nice blow. Then I come in and land a ridiculously crazy blow. Excuse me. And then Emery's comes in and finishes it off and cuts off its head and gets all the glory for the kill, even though all three of us worked together. Well, it's okay. I was a little butthurt by that. Anyway, we then go back. At this point, I don't know if this is a major plot point or not. I don't know if this will come back to bite us or not. But William doesn't make fun of, but pulls the guy aside that we were meeting with. I think his name was Oldgaff. Pulls him aside and is like, "Hey, you kind of spoke to us like we were your equals or subordinates, when in reality we are squires and you're nothing but a commoner. Watch it. Remember your station in life, buddy." And gives him some shit. I don't know if this is going to come back, but it seemed like an important moment. Meanwhile, some of the other party members have a little side conversation with this guy too. But eventually we leave him, and leave him with all the bear meat, and we head back towards the castle that we were staying at. At that point, because at this point in the game, we're squires, and we come back, and after having done this, they decide to knight us, because that's, the first episode was the knighting of the 4 characters, because I didn't even tell you what system we're playing! Holy shit, we're playing Arthur Pendragon! Holy crap, we're playing Arthur Pendragon, which revolves, oh my god. I should have done that at the beginning. I am so sorry, guys. We are playing Arthur Pendragon. It's not Dungeons & Dragons. It's a very, very different system, and revolves around the legend of King Arthur and whatnot. So we all play knights. The level of fantasy is pretty low. Like, there's some magic, there's some magical beasts, but it's very, like, grounded in reality, and it's very heavy on the narrative, and we're kind of playing through the legend of Arthur. Like, Arthur is some other guy. We'll meet him eventually, I hope. But we're playing through the legend of Arthur, and so it sticks very close to reality for many things and that sort of stuff. Anyway, we go back to the town, the castle, and we get knighted because this is our introduction to being knights in the world of Arthur in Britain. Whoops, totally forgot that major detail, but whatever, you got it now, it's fine. Let's move on to the next thing. Roleplay Dark Heresy. Also did not happen this week because Roleplay Dark Heresy never happens. Ever. Ever. So yeah, that's our show for the weekly reroll. There's no Dark Heresy, there was no SOLUM, there was no Dicing with Death. That leaves only 3 shows. And that's that. If you guys stick around, we're going to be doing cartography in what? Ooh, wow. We finished. Oh, man. When you only have half the shows to cover, there's not very much. You don't use very much time. So we got cartography coming up in half an hour. I will probably sneak in one Dota game right now, and then we'll do cartography. So cartography might start a little bit late. Who knows? We'll see. For those of you on the YouTubes, we'll see you later. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.